Perfect. All right. So the 8 steps to selling your home in Seminole, Oklahoma. 8 steps to selling your home in Seminole, Oklahoma. That's what today's video is all about. Because the more knowledge, the more information that you have, the easier it is for you to make a decision, and the better that you feel about that decision. Am I right? Thumbs up. Thumbs up if that makes sense. Thumbs up if that sounds about right. The more information you know about something, the less risky that something is. In this example, selling a home. It's most people's largest asset. I know it's my personal largest asset. It's mine and my wife's personal largest asset. So I know that I can speak for myself. I can't speak for you, but for me, it's my personal largest asset. And even as a real estate agent who's bought 7 homes, sold 7 homes, there's still stress in the process. There's still stress in the process. No matter how many people I help, no matter how many times I do it for myself, there's still stress in the process. So thumbs up if that makes sense, if that's makes complete sense. And then we'll go ahead and go into step number 1. Step number 1 of selling your Seminole, Oklahoma home is call me. Call me. The agents that I work with, eXp Realty and I, we're going to ask you 5 simple questions. 5 simple questions. And this is going to help us put together your plan to get your home sold as a seller who's selling their home in the Seminole, Oklahoma area, the Shawnee, Oklahoma area, the Waukema, Oklahoma area, etc., guys. So, first question that we have is, what's your timeline and what has you moving? And these are questions that you'll want to ask yourself. What is my timeline to move? Like, be out the door. And why is it that I'm moving? Did you get a job transfer? Are you deciding to buy a bigger home with more land? Are you deciding to buy a smaller home with less land? Like, what your timeline is and why you're doing it is very important, because that's what we have to work in to get the job done. And then that's also why you're wanting to get the job done. Okay? Those are very important. Question number 2. Have you done any upgrades to the house over the last 3 to 5 years? Have you done any upgrades? Remodeled the kitchen? Have you remodeled the bathrooms? Have you put in new fencing? Have you put on a new roof? What have you done in the last 3 to 5 years on the home to improve it? To not just keep up with maintenance, but to improve it, to improve the home. What have you done? This helps us with pricing the home when we're looking at comparable sales. When we're looking at comparable sales, this helps with pricing the home. Question number 3 is, what do you love most about your home? What do you love most about your home? What is it that when you come home, you're like, God, that's amazing? And those might be something that we help you look for in your new home too. Like, do you love the wood-burning fireplace? That could be something that we look for in the new home. That could be something that we look for in the new home. And this helps us with marketing the home to the new buyer, because if you love it, 9 times out of 10, the next buyer is going to love it too. And then question number 4, what is a feature that's really cool about your home? Like, what is something that we need to bring a buyer's attention to that if they didn't know, they wouldn't know? Like, do you got a laundry elevator or a laundry chute? You know, do you have a cupboard in the hallway that's a hamper? You know, what are cool things about your home that we can point out in the marketing to potential buyers to make them choose your home over others? You know, do you have gigablast internet when no one else in town does? You know, do you have a class 4 roof? You know, class 4 roof. That'll save the buyer, excuse me, a lot of money on their insurance if you have a class 4 roof. And then finally, the 5th question that we need to know when you're starting to sell your Seminole, Oklahoma home, when you give us a call, is, what is the home's current payoff? What is the home's current payoff? That you need to know that, so you know how much money you're going to have to invest in that new home. That's why you need to know that. So we take all of that information, and that helps us get set up for step 2, pricing your home. Step 2, when selling your Seminole, Oklahoma home, or your Tecumseh, Oklahoma home, any Seminole, Oklahoma County home, is pricing. So we take all that information you gave us, we look at comparable sales on the internet, and then we give you the range that the market is saying your home is worth. Because there's no like dead set price on a home. We give you the range. Homes similar to yours sell between this much and this much. If you want to split the difference, here's what that is. Okay? Depending on how quickly you need to move, what your motivation to move is, will determine where you set that pricing. A lot of customers that I work with will start high, and if we don't get the price right away, within the next 1 to 2 weeks, we do a drop. And then if we don't get the price that we want in the next 1 to 2 weeks, we do another drop. But typically on the first drop, if we haven't already picked up a buyer in today's market, this is June 2023 at the time of this video. In today's market, it's still an extreme seller's market in Oklahoma in general. We got a lot of people moving here because of our governor and our state legislation. So that's step number 2, pricing the home. And we give you a range. You're going to get a complete valuation market packet that shows you the comparable homes that were chosen, the map on where they were located, and then the one-line CMAs too. So you get the full detailed sheet, the one-line CMA, and the map. And of course, you get the estimated net to seller. That's page number 1. And then you get a brief sales summary on the last 615 houses that I've sold over the last almost 17 years. So you get to look all those up too and see that it just shows that I actually do help people sell houses. That's basically what it does. It shows you that we help people sell houses. Okay, so thumbs up on step 2. Thumbs up on step 2. Okay, step number 3. I'm going to grab my cheat sheet. If you guys want the seller cycle, just comment down below you want that, and I'll reach out. We'll get each other's emails. But step 3 is prepping the home for sale. Prepping the home for sale. So this is where you're going to declutter and clean, declutter and clean. Yes, I said it twice. You're going to declutter, clean. You want to do it twice because the first declutter is just basically putting all the stuff that you shouldn't have up. And then after that first declutter, anything you haven't touched in the last 30 days, box it up, put it in storage. You get ready to move anyways, box everything up, put it in storage. You don't need it in the house. You get ready to move anyways. So be sure to get all that stuff put up. So at this time, we'll also talk about what days of the week are best for showings. And if there's certain times, like if you've got kiddos who take a nap between 11:30 and 1:30, we don't want any showings at that time. Trust me, you don't want to mess the kiddos' nap up over a showing. It is much easier to make the person schedule a different time than it is to mess the kids' nap up. Selling the house is stressful enough. You don't need me messing the kiddos' nap time up. I promise you. So does that make sense? We prep the home, and then we talk about when the best time for showings are. If you celebrate the 7th-day Sabbath, like I celebrate the 7th-day Sabbath, you don't want any showings on Saturday, not a problem. Been doing that for 5-6 years now. People still buy houses, guys. They still buy houses. Okay, step number 4, we put the home live on the MLS. So when you're prepping it to sell, and right before we put it live, I do the photo shoot, I do the 360 walkthrough, etc., etc. And then when we go live, I bring all of that stuff live. The MLS, the showing time app, you're going to get a little showing time app that people schedule the showings through, and you can accept it or decline it. If you've got a sick kiddo, like I've got sick kiddos at home, and that's why I'm doing this virtually today, then you don't have to do a showing while you got sick kiddos at home. People don't want to get sick, and you don't want to mess up your kid when your kid needs rest. Take care of that baby. Don't force that baby to get out of the house for a showing. If that buyer's too impatient to wait while your kiddo gets better, is that really a buyer that you want to do business with? No, it's not. Get your kid better. So if you get a showing request, the kiddos are sick or anything like that, just decline it. I'll reach out. I'll find out when is the best time to show the home. You'll let me know. I'll let them know, and we work it out great. If not, we didn't want to work with that buyer anyways. Trust me. So bring it live. People start scheduling showings. They start coming and looking at your home. You've got to leave at least 30 minutes before the scheduled showing So if they have a showing, let's say from 5 to 6, leave at 4:30. Don't come back till after 6:30. Okay. And when people show homes, sometimes they leave lights on. They're opening up cabinets. Sometimes they leave cabinet doors open. Occasionally, not too often, they might accidentally leave the back door unlocked. Let me know right away so I can let that agent know that they left the back door unlocked. It does happen occasionally, not too often, but they need to know if that's happening, and we don't want that to happen, okay? Make sure before we start showings, before we bring your property live, that anything of value, firearms, jewelry, heirlooms, anything of value is put up. You guys have seen the crazy Dateline specials, even medication, it all needs put up, guys. Do not have anything valuable in your home during showings. Firearms, medication, jewelry, anything of value, lock it up, put it in a safe or put it in the storage unit, but don't have it in the home during the showings. It's just how horrible of a society we live in nowadays. If you ever come home and anything's missing right away, call 911, file a police report right away, and then give the police my number too. That way I can give them all the information I have on the people that have shown your house over the last X amount of days. So, showing your house, any questions? Any questions on showing your Seminole, Oklahoma house when we go to sell it? No? No? Okay, if you're watching this on the replay, put the questions down below. I want to definitely get those answered. I'm just checking the comments right now. No comments right now. Okay, perfect. Step number 5, you get an offer. You get an offer. Now, you're either going to get a winning offer or someone who may want to buy your home, is how I put it. Because if you don't get a winning offer, then I don't know why they didn't make a winning offer. Like, I just don't get that. I don't understand it. But if the offer's not exactly what we want, the closing date, the timeline for inspections, the earnest money amount, the loan type, etc., all we do is we start negotiating that, guys. We put together what's called a seller counter. Put together a seller counter, send it over to them, and if they accept it, great. If not, no worries. No worries, guys. Move on. We move on. No worries. Wait for that next buyer. The buyer that wants to buy your home is how I put it. The buyer that wants to buy your home. Offers and negotiations, pretty self-explanatory. Step number 5. Does that make sense? That makes sense. Thumbs up. Thumbs up if that makes sense. Okay. Step number 6, when we're under contract, this is when the buyer starts dating the home. This is when the buyer really starts doing all their due diligence. What you want to remember about this, step number 6, is the fact that as a seller, we got to let the buyer have access to the home. They're going to send their roofer over. They're going to send their home inspector over. They're going to send the termite guy over. Now, typically, we try to put all of those times on the same day, but occasionally that doesn't always work out. And when it doesn't work out, we've got to be open to an extent. We've got to be open to working with the buyer on those timelines, because this is when the buyer's falling in love with the home even more. You want them to be able to do their appraisal. You want them to be able to do their home inspections. You want them to be able to do their termite inspection, their roof inspection, electrical, heat and air, etc., etc. You want them to be able to do all that. And the reason you want this, guys, is because you don't ever want anything to come back and the buyer try to say we hid something from them. Let them do their inspections. It's buyer beware state. Let them do their inspections. Let them fall in love with the house. Yes, during the inspections, we might have to leave 3 or 4 times, but it's okay, guys. They're getting ready to give us a big check for your Seminole, Oklahoma home, and that's what you want. You want the big check. So we'll work on that. All the appointments, they have to be scheduled. No one ever shows up at your house during the showings or the inspections without a scheduled appointment. The only person that might is the surveyor, and they're just there to verify the legal description in the house are the correct legal description and the correct house. That's all they're there to verify. So questions on the buyer's inspections, the buyer's appraisal, the buyer survey, any questions on that? If you're watching this on the replay, put the questions down below. I'll get them answered just as soon as I see them. Number 7 is final details. So this is when what we're doing is we're coordinating the movers, Okay, we're past the appraisal, we're past the inspections, we're doing any repairs that we may have had to negotiate out on the TRR. We're getting any repairs done that we may have needed to negotiate out on the TRR. We're getting all that stuff done. All right, and we're also preparing ourselves to turn off all the utilities. Never, ever, ever turn off the utilities until it's closed and funded. Never do that until it's closed and funded. But we're preparing ourselves to do it, getting the movers coordinated and all that stuff. And then step number 8, guys, I know it's a short video. It's going to be another video less than 20 minutes. Step number 8, guys, is the buyer schedules the final walkthrough, and we go and close on the house. Now, Oklahoma is a closing, funding, and possession state. Closing, funding, and possession state. So what that means is on the day of closing, you need to be out of the house, and the buyer's going to fund and give you the money. So when you go to closing, you're never coming back to the house again. So you got to have everything out, clean the bathrooms, do a dust and a broom clean on the rest of the house, but have it all out. Because when you go to closing, that's it, guys. It's all done. You've sold your house. Congratulations. You sit out in the title company. You have nice talks with the buyer. Tell them about all the amazing neighbors. Tell them all about the amazing events in town, etc., etc. You have lots of fun doing that. Then you get a big check, and then you move on to the next home. And if we're helping you purchase another home, typically we close on the home you're selling in the morning, and then we go close on the home you're buying in the afternoon. In less than 20 minutes, guys, that's how simple it is to sell your Seminole, Oklahoma home, guys. That's how simple it is. It's not hard at all, right? It sounds pretty easy, right? Thumbs up. Now, there are some stressful things that come up, contract negotiations, showings, inspections, the appraisal, getting all that stuff done. There are stressful things that come up, but all in all, 8 little steps explained in less than 20 minutes. That's the process of selling your Seminole, Oklahoma home. I'm real sorry I wasn't able to do this in person with you guys this evening there at the Reynolds Wellness Center, but because of the storms and my kiddos being sick, if it weren't for my kiddos being sick, I would definitely have just made it through the storms, but I don't want my wife to have to deal with storms and 3 sick kiddos by herself. She's an amazing woman. She's awesome. She could totally handle it, but I just don't want her to do that. So I'm going to go home and spend time with her. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you love everything about Seminole, Oklahoma, and living in, eating, drinking, just being part of the community in Seminole, Oklahoma, definitely subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out any of my new videos. And I'm constantly getting calls from everyone across the whole United States and sometimes other countries wanting to move to Oklahoma. The team of agents that I work with at eXp Realty and you've got to call that number right there. That's the number that gets in touch with me, so I can get you to the agents that I know are good, so we can help you with all your real estate needs. We'd love to earn your business, guys. And I'll see you guys on that next video. Have a great day, guys. Bye.